In this video, it's going to be me explaining and defining certain words that I will use in later videos because I will use them frequently through various concepts, things that you might see. If you're not familiar with these terms, then you need to know them so you can understand why I'll be saying them here and there. If you already know these words, then you don't need to watch the rest of this video. Wait for those videos that are to come. If you want to just stare at my point to why I define it as such and what my definition is for these three words that I'm going to define, throughout this video, look in the description, there will be a time skip. The three words that I'm going to be talking about will be fixed, random, and RNG. Once again, if you are familiar with these terms, you do not need to watch the rest of this video. The first definition I'll be talking about will be fixed. This is a safe, guaranteed method of getting something. Now, obviously, the definition in itself can be changed to whatever you're trying to do, but for the sake of this video and me using it in future references, it is a guaranteed safe method as long as you do something it tells you to do. For example, ARX missions. You should be familiar with the quests already. So, ARX missions, if you don't know much about them, there's a bunch of videos about it and stuff, but this is one of your ways to get fixed income. I do have a playlist video talking about how to go about ARX weekly missions quickly along with daily ARX missions, upper right hand corner in the description. But as you can see, it doesn't cheat you in any way, shape, and form. The only way you can't get this is if you don't do it. So, for this example, let's say if you want your 605,000 Meseta, 80,000 experience, and your plus 30% ability success rate boost item, you need to successfully grind a weapon and or unit. Easy. Once you do that, guess what? You can collect this and you can get your reward. The game's not going to try to barter with you and change these rewards. You will get them. It cannot cheat you. This is just one of the various fixed methods in game. And it's not just for money, mind you. There are various ways to get a high rarity weapon, to get certain outfits and camos by trading in something that is fixed. It cannot be altered and changed unless the game programs that. But this cannot cheat you in any way, shape, or form. It cannot change on you constantly each day. This is fixed. The reason why I'm emphasizing on this is because there are a lot of fixed methods when it comes to this game. And it's not just this game, mind you. It is in various other games. You will hear that term every now and then. It's like a fixed drop rate, a fixed percentage, etc., etc. But that is the definition of fixed and why I define it as such in an example for this definition. The next definition I will talk about will be gambling. Now, I'm going to use this example of a casino and a slot machine. If you don't know what those are, then go ahead and look that up. This example is going to display three sort of scenarios in one. So let's say that you decide to go to a slot machine and you decide to put $5 in. When you put the $5 in, you decide to spin until you either hit a certain number that's above $5 or maybe you withdraw it before you hit 0. But let's say you're stubborn enough not to actually pull out and you actually hit 0. If you hit 0 on the machine, guess what? You just lost $5. You can't get that $5 back. Before you hit the 0 mark though, if you were going down to like $4 or $3 on the machine, you are losing money in a sense. But at the very least, if you decide to pull out, you can save your money before you actually lose the full 5 that you placed in there. So when it comes to gambling, there is some risk involved. Is it going to be a low one? Is it going to be a high one, medium one? It depends. If I decide to put $100 in there and I gambled hard with the machine and I walk out with nothing in my pocket, or I hit 0 after putting $100 into that machine, that is me losing $100 right there. Now taking that same scenario, let's say I put $5 into the machine and it's been 2 hours, I'm still stuck at fucking $5. I'm breaking even, which is not good or bad. In my opinion though, it's bad because you waste time. You can't get back time. So there's a chance that you won't get anything out of it when it comes to you gambling. The best scenario though, and the one that a lot of people would want, is you putting $5 in there, you spinning, and let's say you hit a jackpot on this machine and it can give you 10,000 bucks. Not only do you keep your $5, but you gain a shit ton of money because you hit the jackpot. Or anything that goes above the $5 that you placed in. So if you were able to get, let's say, $50 on the machine for having several combos, and you decide to cash out, not only did you have your 5, but you earn a profit of 45 because, you know, if your earnings is 50 minus 5 because you placed 5 in the machine in the first place, you earn 45. That's gambling for you. You are putting an X amount of something into something, and you are having some sort of risk and gamble to get a lot out of it. You're not going to get a lot out of it, or you get to lose a shit ton out of it. You might be saying, wait a second, Morph, I'm not gambling though. I'm not doing anything big like trying to get a jackpot or anything, or I'm not playing in the casino. In a sense, you are. When it comes to you doing stuff in-game, especially when it comes to fixes, you are gambling in a way, especially if those percentages are not at 100%. The other thing you can view or stare at that might be gambling would be making investments on certain items that you may want to sell in the future so you can get a lot more money off of them. Not only that, technically the player's market is you gambling on people, on the fact that people may buy your stuff. Emphasis on the may. You can barter with them. There might be other things that might persuade them, or, you know, it might be a junk item, I don't know. But ultimately, the thing is, you are betting on the fact that people will buy your stuff because of the certain price, because of the popularity of this item, because it's the only one that's in the market. There are a lot of factors that can contribute to me defining such thing as gambling. And once again, this is my own definition. You can define it as something else, but I will use this term a lot throughout my videos to emphasize on the sheer fact that this is a gamble. This is something that you don't really have a lot of control over, but if you win, you get a shit ton out of it. If you lose, you're gonna get fucked. The last term I'm gonna go over will be RNG, Random Number Generator. This is just a fancy way of saying it's going to get randomly selected. It's going to randomly happen. I'm not going to go into a lot of details of how this fucking works, because there's a lot of programming, a lot of math behind it, a lot of actual technical things you got to do with it. I am not going to go into that. Nope, no siree. And guess what? PSO2 has a bunch of fucking RNG. There's a lot of examples I can pull from. And, yeah, I'm just going to state this. RNG is going to be a thing. It's going to be random. You have no full control over it. It's going to be fucking random. For example, if you want a certain ability on a weapon or unit to drop with a certain slot number on it, guess what? All of that is random. You have no control over it. This concludes the video talking about these 3 words, how I define them, the examples for it, and why I defined it as such, because it is a thing. There will be RNG involved in you getting some money sometimes, especially if you get an S-class ability that everyone wants. Good example of it, Skydance. That is a wanted ability over here in Japanese PSO2, which costs $1 billion or so. It might have changed recently, but I haven't looked at it. Another thing would be a fixed method. Guess what? There are certain rewards you can get from the title quest, especially if you do like extremely hard abduction. You can get a reward as a 4-slot returner 3 unit piece. There are things in game that will give you this, and this in certain ways, and you can make a profit off of it or not, or use it in your own way. Do whatever you want with this information, but I wanted to inform you guys, give you guys these things, because once again, later videos where I go into a lot of details about these things, these definitions will pop up. These words will pop up in my video. If you have any question, comment, concerns, let me know in the comments below, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.